Hello and welcome to Tech 24. I'm Annelise Borges with the latest from the tech world. Coming up on the program, the battle against the Islamic State organization takes to the internet. In an exclusive interview, a member of Anonymous tells France 24 what motivated them to launch an operation against the terrorist movement. And in Test 24, we got our hands on the new iPhone 6 and iPhone 6 Plus. And you're about to get the most complete review of Apple's latest devices. The war against the Islamic State organization has a new battlefield, the web. The international network of activists Anonymous has launched a campaign against the presence of the group on social media. Operation ISIS is a bid to, I quote, protect those who are defenseless both in the cyber world and the real world, unquote, and to prevent propaganda from spreading. Anonymous is a loose network of hackers and activists where identities are protected. But we managed to find one of the members behind the campaign. And what you're about to see now is an exclusive interview. My first question was how Anonymous arrived at the decision to launch Operation ISIS.
We took this initiative in order to establish two things. One, we needed the public to understand how urgent the situation is in Iraq. Before the mainstream media took serious direction in reporting the ISIS threat, we were one of the first to communicate it to the masses via the video we uploaded on YouTube in June explaining how and why ISIS came to be. We also made it clear that the United States was not free of blame as it has directly and indirectly contributed to the crisis we see today. The second reason was that we needed to make sure the public knew that ISIS did not represent the Islamic religion. Time and time again, we've seen confusion and hatred when news of any group that had called itself Islamic surfaced. We were determined not to let that happen again. Muslims and Christians alike have been victims of this tragedy, and we were prepared to answer questions and address any concerns that had to deal with this topic.
I then asked concretely what kind of actions are being taken as part of this operation.
In the video we released, we planned to attack several countries that were knowingly supporting ISIS financially, including Turkey and Saudi Arabia. We warned that if they continued to support ISIS, we would be forced to destroy their virtual infrastructure. And yes, we have those who can do this. However, due to recent events, we took it upon ourselves to change our strategy and face this problem a different way. ISIS, of course, is not a government. Therefore, they have no government websites and most of their activity is on social media. We have rarely encountered a situation such as this. So what we decided to do was, instead of attacking them directly, we decided to attack their ideologies with truth and logic. In the process, we were doing our job to inform the people that these criminals are liars and deceivers and they do not deserve to be listened to. We cited Islam's rules of engagement, which include not harming prisoners of war, or cutting down a tree, or attacking ministries. We also cited the covenant the Prophet of Islam, Muhammad, had with all worshipping Christians, and that whoever breaks that covenant is excluded from his people. Things like these drastically change their influence on social media and exposes them for who they are, gangsters who hijack the Islamic religion.
There were a number of attempts to block or at least slow down the spreading of Islamic State Group propaganda online. Twitter, for example, removed several accounts that were associated with the movement, but when Operation ISIS was launched, many criticized Anonymous, saying the move sends a double message as a form of online regulation and even censorship, precisely what Anonymous has fought against since the establishment of the group. My last question was what they had to say to those critics.
Well, we should make it clear to them that yes, in the beginning of the operation we did plan on hijacking certain Twitter accounts led by ISIS members. But we thought to ourselves, why would we take down a direct line of information? They love to brag and show off their strength, and we believe that is their ultimate weakness. We decided to utilize that, and instead of taking them down, we publicly respond to them. Sometimes they do respond back and sometimes they don't. because they simply cannot argue with the truth we lay before them. We believe that all censorship is unacceptable, and to those who believe that in doing this we are censoring, we tell them that sometimes we have to take down what everyone knows is false information. There is much confusion in the world already, and we really don't need more. The Islamic State, as they call themselves, is very much like those of the Westboro Baptist Church, those who are affiliated with Anders Breivik, and very much like the KKK. We don't associate those groups with Christianity, so why should we associate ISIS with Islam?
And for a bit more context on this story, I welcome to the show our in-house tech expert, Dhananjay Kadilkar. Dan, what's the significance of Anonymous joining this fight, taking part in this fight against ISIS?
Well, Annalise, as you would know, Anonymous has been involved in cyber activism for more than 10 years now. And during this time, they have been following the philosophy of anti-surveillance and anti-censorship. During these 10 years, they have launched plenty of actions, and among those memorable ones include the ones against the Church of Scientology, as well against PayPal. So they have varied targets. Maybe some are religious, some are corporates. And as you would expect, there are plenty of detractors and there are plenty of supporters for what Anonymous does. But at the same time, I mean, you can love them, you can hate them, but you certainly cannot ignore them because they have been one of the most influential groups when it comes to activism on the internet.
All right, so their strong presence is the key to succeed in this kind of operation. Thanks for that, Dan. We're going to move on now. Up next, Test 24. The iPhone 6 and the iPhone 6 Plus are Apple's latest attempt to remain relevant in a mobile world where devices are getting better and bigger. As promised, today we'll get a close look at both new phones. Specs, functions, features, and price. Dhananjay is here to tell us a little bit more. Shall we start with the iPhone 6? What are the main highlights?
Well, Annalise, the wait is finally over. Apple has finally ventured into the big screen devices. Let's start with the iPhone 6. It's a 4.7-inch device. It has an 8-megapixel camera. It has a 720p display. It can shoot 1080p HD videos. But what I like the most about this device is its design. It's very sleek, it's very well engineered, and it's very easy to hold it in your hands. I really like this aspect of iPhone 6. But this is certainly not it could be among the best, but certainly not an outstanding product compared to what we see from Samsung and perhaps LG. You know, Apple has always been doing a catch-up job as far as the big devices are concerned. And it's the same with the iPhone 6 Plus as well. Again, it's the same. The similarities with iPhone 6, its younger brother, is that it has an 8-megapixel camera. But its display is much better than the iPhone 6. It comes with a 1080p display compared to the 720p. But again, it's not the best in the spec side. It's certainly not the best because there are phones like LG G3 which have a better display. They are already into the 4K Quad HD display. Similarly, the Samsung's latest phone, which is expected in October, the Galaxy Note 4, it also has a 4K resolution display. But what I like about both the phones is that they are stylish for once, and second is that Apple is going to launch the Apple Pay payment system by which you can make easy payments without having to bother about.
Is that really the only revolutionary item in this?
I think so, because specs-wise, as I said, it's not an outstanding or it doesn't stand out of the when you compare to the competition. But yes, because of the ecosystem that Apple generally prides on, and because of which it has had a loyal set of followers, I think this phone is quite handy. It's useful, it's stylish, and I think the genuine loyalists of Apple, they would love to possess one of these devices.
In terms of price, how much does each phone retail for? Well,
the iPhone 6 Plus, it comes in 3 varieties. One is a 16 GB, 64 GB, and 128 GB. Well, the 128 GB, it goes as high as around $1,000. So it's quite expensive. Even it's expensive compared to its competition when I mentioned LG G3 and Galaxy Note 4. Maybe it's on par as far as price is concerned, but G3 is definitely cheaper than the iPhone 6 Plus.
All right. Thanks for that, Dhananjay. That's all we have time for. Thanks for tuning in for another edition of Tech24. You can get in touch with us on Facebook or on Twitter. Our hashtag is Tech24. We leave you today with images of Japan's largest video game show. Gaming enthusiasts from around the country gathered in Tokyo for a test of the latest virtual reality devices. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next week.